Vardruna, we don't communicate much with words by speaking in between, so it's good to have these moments where I can actually talk a little bit about the thoughts behind the music, to put it all into a little bit of context. My name is Einar Selvik. I come from, for those who didn't know, I come from the western part of Norway, from a small inland island called Osterøy, situated amongst fjords and tall mountains and the whole postcard thing. What I do as a musician and as a composer and artist is to make new things and new music using old tools, old thoughts and old ideas. And I have to say it's not based on any romantic idea about the past. I'm not trying to make Viking music. That's not the point. It's more about creating something new with something old. I don't think that one's tradition or one's root are important just because they are your roots. It needs to carry relevance, or else you just go around dragging along a lot of empty symbols and things that don't carry any meaning anymore. That being said, there are a lot, in my opinion, there are a lot of things that we can learn from the past that are still relevant. Perhaps some things are even more relevant today in a society that has, in many ways, removed itself from nature. And I would say that in many ways, if you boil the music of Vardruna down to essence, it is very much music that is in the focus. Music and our relationship to nature, our relationship to each other and to something bigger than yourself. Whether or not that's a spiritual thing or a philosophical thing or an emotional thing, that's an open question and sort of something that you as the listener can decide on. But it's very much about nature. And like the Norse tradition was in many ways a nature-based tradition, and I very often get asked why I'm so interested in Viking Age. To be completely honest with you, I don't find the Viking Age very interesting. It's true, I don't. I think the Viking Age is when it started to go downhill, when people started to forget the old ways, when things became industrialized, when it was much more about value, money, lack of land. There are a lot of nice things to say about the Viking Age also. Of course, there are a lot of nice things, but it is a migration period where people started to forget the old ways. But if you look further back into Bronze Age and that period after, there is a very beautiful nature-based tradition, and very much is situated around the sun. Now, for those of you who don't know exactly what it is I'm doing with my music, I can say that for the last 15, 16 years, I've been working on a trilogy where I decided to take the ancient writing system in Scandinavia, the runes, and make music to them. the runes are, like I said, it's a writing system, but there are also a lot of mystique to them. They are often related to sorcery, to magic. The word rune is related to ru, which means to create sound. That is basically what it means. Now the word rune itself can mean secret, it can mean knowledge, very often esoteric knowledge. It can mean to whisper, and it can even mean a magical song. Now, and because there are some ancient rune poems, we also know that these runes are connected. Each rune has a symbolic value as well. So my idea was to try and interpret these different runes as much as possible on their own premises, using relevant instruments, words, language, and sounds to enhance each of these runes. Even record in settings that were relevant to each of the runes. Even specific dates. It's been a really comprehensive, long journey, and I'm gonna, speaking of Bronze Age and the sun, I'm gonna perform one of these rune songs for you. It's a song called Sovelu, and Sovelu is the rune representing the sun. Now the song is based upon runic poetry and own creation as well. The lyrics are basically Old Norse as well as Proto-Norse, the language that we had before the Viking Age. And it's telling the story about how the sun is carried in a chariot, pulled by horses, and being chased by wolves, threatening to devour her, to eat her, and thus every nightfall, thus resurrects every day. And this cyclic thinking, this thought that everything goes in circles every year, every day, every second, is very present in most myths from that period, actually. And I will demonstrate different versions of that same circle tonight. But enough talk. Skøpa skalde, stinan de røde, isar all trøy, kvarvan i hvite, skottheit i rulle, fagra kveldfylja, drøhøstlar draga, skinanda gåði. you so much. So I used to be a drummer. That's basically where I come from. That's the instrument I've played since I was 3 years old, basically. All right. No, but that's sort of my main instrument, really. But I never enjoyed performing other people's music, so I quickly understood that I had to learn other instruments as well, so I could write music. So I learned myself to play guitar and then on and on. But it wasn't until this... I played in many different bands, metal bands and various projects, but well, it really didn't mean anything to me on a personal level. It was more a professional thing, and the need to do something that was close to my heart became more and more important. I come from in my family, when I grew up, I had people in my family who were really into, like, they know the old sagas and stuff like that. And when we were walking out in the nature, I was always told stories about stuff that had happened at these places. And I don't know, I think it created some images, and these images stuck with me, and I carry them still, but I think that is perhaps the reason why I'm very attached to my history, in a natural way, to my roots and my land. And so when the need to sort of do something with this, because I had this vision about creating music, I could hear it, I could see it, and so I started to dig into the history of the oldest instruments that we had in the Norse, in the Nordic countries, basically. And at the time, this is maybe 15, 16 years ago, there were not many people who knew anything. There were some old books, and of course I had to go see go to museums to see the old instruments, but of course I couldn't just call up any people and say, can you come and play this instrument? I couldn't go to the store and buy these instruments. So either I had to go and have people build them for me, or I had to build them myself. And so I did. Some I built myself, some I had other people build for me. But this was a long process. The instrument I'm holding here is called a Kravik lyre. It's a lyre, a lira. Now a lira, this one in particular is a copy of the oldest string instrument that we have that's ever been found in Norway. We don't know exactly how old it is. But in any case, I don't think that's... In any case, this type of instrument is many thousand years old, and you find it almost all over the planet. The oldest, everything from like Persia to old ancient Greek, England, Spain, many countries, and we had them in the Viking Age. We have findings from Viking Age, from England, from Germany, from Denmark, and this one is a little bit newer, but still, it's an instrument that, of course, due to its name, lira, is connected to lyric, and it's an instrument, of course, perfect to accompany singing and storytelling and stuff like that. So it's an instrument of the sculpt, the storyteller, and the poet. And has been for thousands of years. So, a little bit more music, I guess. I think you're good. You're very quiet and patient. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna do another rune song for you. I'm gonna teach. No, I'm not gonna teach you. No, I'm gonna play the song called Feu, and Feu is the rune representing the letter F. Feu means, literally it means cattle, and it's related to earthly wealth. It's based on rune poems and my own version of these rune poems. And these poems they indicate a story about a very old myth, a mythical being called the lindworm. I don't know if you have it here, but it is a myth that is present in many different cultures. Now the lindworm is a serpent, sometimes like a dragon, and it has that function that if it rests upon your gold, the gold will increase. Now, there is a flip side, and that is, of course, that the lindworm grows equally. So you get a lot of gold, but you get a big dragon to handle. So it basically tells the story, or indicates that wealth is a good thing to have, but it is also what causes strife amongst family and war amongst brothers and sisters. So this is Feu.
Feu,
I couldn't help myself. That's one of the clues we have. We also know from the verse I sang now, that's from a rímur chant from Iceland. And we also know from that's sort of the tradition the poetic tradition that took over after the skaldic tradition were banned and disappeared. This went underground and was kept alive. And some of these poetic meters are the same as they were in the Viking Age, basically. And we know that the oldest traditions that are thought also follow when a poem is written in a specific meter, they have a certain melody and a certain rhythm. So that also indicates, we can't know for sure how old it is, but it gives an indication of a tradition. So, just to give you some examples. Now, I'm gonna perform a song from Skaldic poetic tradition. That's a bit different from Eddic poetry. It's very complicated poetry. That's sort of perhaps the most complicated poetry. And it's an example of another thing we know about the old music, and that is that they sang in harmony. Tvísöngur, it means two singing, and they sang in parallel fifths. For you who are musicians, you will know what this is. In any case, I will give a demonstration now. So, Ragnar Lothbrok is quite popular, isn't he? No? No, haven't heard of it. No, not him. He's Olaf Tryggvason. He was a bastard, I have to say. He was one of the worst. What?
Not brave enough.
All right. Well, Ragnar, there are a lot of. He was a rock star back in the days. There are a lot of, and when you're a rock star or a Viking star, then there are a lot of poetry and stories connected. The most famous poetry from his sagas is from a time when he is thrown into a snake pit. And of course, any brave man thrown into a snake pit, what does he do? He does some poetry. And I'm gonna perform that poetry for you guys now.
Minst var själva
I have to tune it first, so you don't have to put the sound out. The thing with nature instruments is that they tend to have a will of their own. And this instrument is the oldest bowed instrument that we have in the north. It's called a tagl harpa. Now tagl means, it means horsehair, because the strings are made of horsehair. So, which again means that it's very sensitive for moist and heat. So, if this sounds like shit, it's your fault. That's what I'm trying to say. This is a good example of an instrument that is authentic. That is whatever you play on it. It is a drone instrument that has one drone string and one melody string. Or it can have two melody strings, but they need to be aligned in a certain way. So it's quite limited. So this gives you a unique. For me, when I listen to it, it's 1,000 years back in time, just like that. Especially if it's tuned. This is a goat horn. Yet another example of ancient instrument, and this actually comes from a living tradition. We have this tradition still. The oldest finding we have of these is found in Birka in Sweden. I think the oldest one with playing holes are from the 500s, and we have some later ones as well. They are from cow horns and goat horns. That sort of comes from the same tradition, and it's very much related to shepherds out in the pastures and in the mountains, both as means of communication over long distances. So this is basically the mobile phone of the Viking Age. And yeah, this would be a eye horn 5. It has 5 holes. But also, they even used them. They taught the animals these specific melodies in wintertime. So they basically used these horns also to call back the animals every night to milk them. So they are related to calling also. And in the pastures, they knew, for instance, that at certain part of the month they would be in audible distance to the next one, so they could send messages. And also the longhorns are related to this tradition, but in many ways, using longhorns or horns without finger holes, to me, the way I interpret it, is more reaching out, whereas this is very much about calling in. And it is said even that in an old poem that the bear hates the sound of the long lure, the longhorns, but he loves the sound of the goat horn. And when you hear the sound, you hear that it is very sore, longing tone. It is calling. This tradition is also related to what is called kulning or lock song, which is a very ancient way of singing, very high-pitched way of singing, also related to this shepherd tradition, and also related to a very old form of magic, magical ecstatic singing called seder. So I'm gonna demonstrate this. The thing with these instruments is that they also live a life of their own, and they don't always behave. So there has been more than one occasion when I play with. See what I mean? No, there's been more than one occasion where I play with Wadruna, and especially outdoor concerts, and the horn has been lying there in the cold for an hour or so, and I pick it up and I try to play, and I sound like a sick cow or something like that. Not very epic, I can tell you. So let's see how it works now.
har vända i höstingalig åka. Soli har vända i höstingalig åka. Sol, 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 sol Oh
Thank you. So I have to say you've been a really beautiful crowd, and I was very. I was a bit nervous how it would be with so many people in one room and so little people on stage, so little sound on stage. But you have been absolutely wonderful. It's been a true pleasure to be here. Letting go. This is a song called Helvägen. En årstid dör aldrig, kvämers gör godan getur. Dör fjär, dör frändur, dör självrit sommar. Jag vet ej att aldrig dör, domrum döden kväll. Tusen tack för mig. Like I said, it's been such a pleasure to perform and speak in front of you, and from the heart to the heart. That's how it's supposed to be, how it should be, and that's how we create change. I know there were a lot of people who didn't get tickets for our last Wodruna show in Poland, and I sincerely hope to come back here very soon. So let's just say skål, and until the next time.